All right, welcome everybody. I am Paddo. With me is Atlanta, and we're gonna kick it off big right now for episode 6 of Bloodborn. We're gonna be interviewing him, finding out more. What better way to start this off than kicking off against episode 2's guest, Deceptical? This is gonna be a great match. I'm looking forward to it. How you doing today, Atlanta?
I'm doing all right. I'm keeping this entire hand, by the way, because this is a fun turn one. I just want to see what happens if I play it like this. I'm sure I'm gonna get smashed though. I'm very frustrated playing against Songhai ever, but you know it's okay. But yeah, I'm doing all right.
Yeah. So how did you get into collectible card gaming or turn-based gaming?
Okay, so well, since I was a kid, I always liked playing, I guess, like the Final Fantasy Tactics type games. I played a lot of Fire Emblem, Tactics, Ogre, Final Fantasy Tactics. Like almost every tactics game under the sun. I really like Disgaea. Like I love tactics games. So that was like it instantly drew me to the game when they were saying, "Oh yeah, tactics," and they said meets CCG. I'm like, all right, I'm sold because I also play card games extensively. At least I have somewhat of a background in Hearthstone and poker, so I feel like this is really right up my alley. All right, fun begins now.
Oh yeah.
Don't have a ghost lightning.
Here come here come the Abyssian faces.
All right. If he has Ghost Lightning, I would forfeit, but we're having a show here, so
yeah, exactly.
I'll stick it through. If he has the card in his deck, I'm screwed.
So
but
have you played
I just wanted to see what would happen.
Yeah, so have you played a lot of collectible card games and stuff like that too? You mentioned Final Fantasy Tactics and Ogre, but have you played a lot of collectible card games?
Yeah, I played Hearthstone. I played a little bit of Magic. I was not very great at it, and it takes a lot of money. Like I feel like that's the very, very intense on the wallet, and Hearthstone was probably the first card game I really got into. So yeah, that's most of my background is Hearthstone. I would say gotten Legend of the Ladder numerous times. I was the first person at rank 1 in season 1 of Hearthstone.
Oh wow!
So that was an experience.
So how'd you find Duelist?
I found Duelist because my friends that were playing Heroes of the Storm were telling me about it, and so I guess you could say I came from there as far as this is concerned. Oh, I'm gonna lose that man. Because I also have MOBA experience. Oh, God, anyway, so I have MOBA experience as well. I've played League of Legends professionally for 2 or 3 years, and I played Heroes of the Storm. Like that's my MOBA experience with the Shadow Dancers. So I played MOBAs competitively for a really long time, and for whatever reason, someone from Heroes got me into this game, and just from the description alone, I was sold. It was like that's my game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
So we actually not too long ago the hand rules changed, and we're now at the state now where it's 6 cards max, and you only draw 2 per turn. Like, how has that changed the game for you? As a former card player or Hearthstone player?
So now I feel like it's more of a card game, if that makes sense. Like, so before it was like more of a tactics game because you played what was on the board and like you just dumped your hand every turn, and now it's more of a card game. Like there's more decisions involved, and I like that a lot actually.
Would you say would you say it favors you?
I would say it favors me more. Yes. I like it a lot as far as the draw system goes because then there are a lot more choices as opposed to the mindless hand vomiting that it was before. Or at least that's what I would call it. So that's what interests me at the moment.
Yeah, I noticed your list looked like all Abyssian, so it looks like you're maining Abyssian now.
Yeah.
Is that true? Like so, I saw before that you were a Vitruvian player when you originally started playing in like Duelist Community Throwdown and stuff like that. Was that just a change after the wipe? Like you like the faction better than where Vitruvian was going, or what brought about that change?
I just wanted to go back to Abyss. Actually, Abyss was my first, I guess you could call it my first love when it came to this because I really liked the play style. There's lots of plays that you can make, really big out of the hand plays as far as coming back on the board, and you have some really good like burst damage potential and stuff like that. But I was really tired of losing to Songhai. Funny enough.
I was gonna 8 gates.
8 gates is really interesting. I feel like it was 7 damage. I think what it was. I'm dead. So yeah. So now I'm dead pretty much from what was what seemed to be a pretty good game. Like I was at what 17, now I'm at 4. So I can mulligan the Shadow Dancer into like I can pull my entire hand here, but I'll also give up the chance to taunt, which could be pretty important if, for instance, his hand is like not Phoenix Fire, or not Spiral Technique, or not
direct
anything in a
damage.
Songhai deck. Yeah, not direct damage, which is actually nothing in a Songhai deck. So, and I can't pop his Relic. I'll only be able to get 1 charge off if I sack the Pulverizer to get the second Shadow Dancer off. So I'm going to mulligan the Shadow Dancer, which doesn't actually help me. And then we're just going to play these 2, run in the corner, and cry. And that's the play. It's not as threatening, though. Like, I could have done the sack play, but this one puts out a taunt. I don't really have much of a follow-up answer. So we'll see. Is he Songhai, or am I alive for another turn?
Well, he's down to 3 cards. There's a chance that maybe he's actually on creatures and not on.
But maybe one of the 3
spells.
cards isn't the 3 Phoenix Fires in his deck plus the Blood Niche Mask that he has equipped. Possible. He just outcoined. That's good.
Yeah, that should be Phoenix Fire. Or no,
I
Spiral.
hope that's Spiral Technique.
Yeah.
So that was 3 Spiral Techniques to 0.
Boom.
I'm pretty salty. So that also comes from the card games, Salt.
Yes. So, what do you like about Abyssian? Like what draws you to the faction?
I like the ability to. I guess I like the ability to play kind of a blocking. So I like having explosive starts and oppressive board states where like I have a bunch of dudes on the board, like deal with it kind of thing.
Yeah.
I guess let's go away from the Songhai thing because I could talk about that for 50 million years.
Yeah.
But so certain classes have AoEs that can deal with this, and most of them cost a lot.
Yeah, Plasma Storm's 4, and Liners now is 3, basically.
Right, so most spells don't cost 1 mana to deal 1 damage to everything. So, so I feel like you can use that advantage of mana to accelerate your win conditions in the sense that I can start pushing out my my creatures such that they don't have enough mana to remove everything, and then that allows me to continue to push my board advantage, and I really like that. But some classes can sort of bend the rules on that a little bit, and every class has access to Naga, which is a really strong neutral tech card against the class, I would say. Occasionally just having really explosive turns where like I can do a lot in 1 turn, and there's a lot of decision making involved. There's a lot of situations where I'm kind of dead to rights, but I have the board, and then I can just push the entire game out with 1 play. So I have a few plays that I could make this turn, for instance. So I could play Jax, sack one of the Jaxes, and put out a Gloom Chaser. I could sack one of the Gloom Chaser Wraithlings to make a Deep Fire for 1, so that's 3 mana. Or I could save it and just have a Jax. The problem is that he just drew 3 cards in his last turn, so if he has Ghost Lightning, there's a very strong chance of it just shutting Jax out completely, whereas Deep Fire is pretty solid as just a card, but he's coming into 7 mana as well. So
what would you say your biggest strength as a player is?
Well, although I'm not really displaying it here, it's usually my mulligan decisions and my setups, how much I'm able to set up for. I put rock pulverizers in. How much I'm able to set up for the bigger turns, and how I'm using my matchup specific knowledge to help me win against certain classes. Well, I have a few plays actually. I might sack the mini Jax to make Spectral Evident, kill off this 1/4, but then it comes out as 5 and it's just going to get Spiral Teched. Let's toss Gloom Chaser first. Okay, we're putting out Dark Nemesis this turn. We'll put him on clock.
Decisions been made.
Decisions have been made. So I could attack with a ranged unit, or I can just attack with mini Jax. Oh no, yeah, I can melee Jax here. Okay, we're gonna attack here. And then I'll attack with these two ranged guys. I'm gonna sack one of them. Or I can just play a Sarlacc and sack him. That's probably better, because I have all ranged guys on the board now.
Free sacrifice is pretty good.
Yeah, like I'm coming into 7 mana on the next turn. I'm just gonna play it right in front of his face, because if he has the 10 damage to kill it, oh well, I'm probably dead anyway, I don't really care. Okay, so going back to... Oh, you know what he was saving the Void Pulse for, actually? This was really smart. So if he uses 8 gates on my stolen Void Pulse, then he would get 2 extra damage on it. He has no hand now, so there is a decent chance I could win. Let's see. So I save 3. I'm gonna dump the Wisp. Oh wait. Okay, so I can't actually play Shadow Dancer this turn. It doesn't do anything for me. If I play Spectral, that's 6 plus. Okay, well the Wisp is the only playable card on my turn. I could play Shadow Dancer, do 3, 5 as opposed to 6. Or mulligan the Wisp and hope for the best. Okay, that's not quite what I was looking for, but it's interesting nonetheless. So we can sack that guy. I'm going to sack it to get it out of my hand first, and then I'm going to Rite of the Undervault, cards back. Okay, that doesn't change anything, unfortunately. I'm going to have to hit him in the face with probably everything, actually. But I'm going to kill this anyway, because I'm only losing some damage. And I'm going to run a quarter and die. Okay, so what were we talking about again? I'm so sorry.
It's all good, man. Man, your strengths as the player, man. Like you seem like very calculating, and you're able to curve out your turns based on like your just kind of like hand knowledge and your mulliganing knowledge.
Yeah,
Some of that.
yeah, all that fun stuff. So
Yeah.
mostly card game things. Strange though, because okay, say I'm playing against Songburn, right? Like I'm actually I'm dead. So I'm actually kind of just playing against what his options are, I guess, if that makes sense. And okay, so I just kill him with... That was really fortunate. So now I can just kill it with this effect. You were talking about what are my strengths as a player. Like, I'm trying to display my strengths as a player, I guess, here, but now I'm just flustered. Like, I played against his deck. He clicked on my face with spells for 4 turns. Okay.
Pulled it off.
Yeah, that was...
So what
That was
advice would you
something.
have for new players, right? Like if a new player's coming to this game, like what steps did you take? What worked out for you? Like are there any like bad habits or anything that you see other
Oh
players
yeah,
make that you
okay.
kill?
So...
Talk about that.
So I guess there's a kind of a beginner tip is you always want to mulligan okay, so you can replace a card at the first, or yeah, at the beginning, or sorry, you can replace a card during your turn and get another one, any card in your hand. And you want to do this as often as possible, unless you're specifically saving options, because you're basically increasing your consistency when you replace a card with another card. You know that there's a card that you don't want or that's probably not as useful. Going into your deck to find a card that you might want more is worth doing almost any turn. So it's like you're getting to see way more cards in your deck the more often you do this. And you want to do it at the beginning of your turn so that you can see if your play changes based on how much mana you have or whatever. But essentially there might be a better card in your deck. Sometimes there's not, and that's the justification that some people use for not mulliganing at the beginning of every turn, but it's definitely something you want to get in the habit of doing. Because sometimes you will win a game just based on mulliganing quickly and efficiently so that you can get through the rest of your turn and not have to worry about the basic increasing your deck consistency thing, as opposed to, oh no, I forgot to do it. Or if you just completely forget every turn, you're basically just seeing less of your deck, and so you're working with less cards. So that's one thing that you can do to help yourself a little bit. And one thing that I did when I first started as well is I went into sandbox mode, and I played against myself with two different classes. And I didn't like try super hard to beat myself or anything, but I tested a lot of interactions, like how does backstab work? How do these death wishes work? Or there's an interesting one. If there's a unit with rebirth and I use dark transformation on it, do they get an egg or do I get a wraith? So things like that are things that I'm really interested in knowing about, and I feel like every player should be at least trying to, or at least seeking understanding when it comes to game interactions and mechanics. Um, so that's another thing that I would suggest. I'm testing out the zero tech cards deck.
It's destiny,
All right.
man.
All right, we're tossing back everything except Sarlacc, because Sarlacc can't be removed by Ghost Lightning, and it's almost uncontestable in the square that I usually put it in for getting the mana. So we'll hold on to only Sarlacc. Okay, that's a strong turn. Okay, so we're keeping everything in this hand. Normally I would mulligan at least one card every turn to increase my consistency, but we're going to hold on to it.
You have a win condition, basically. Like
I have a win condition, and it's going to be something. Let's see how it plays out. Dark Nemesis is a pretty... Whoa, okay. All right, we're doing it all. So it's 4 mana. We're getting into fun land here. I'm going to play it directly in his face, actually, because I want the 4/10 body, if he silences it, to be in range of attack.
Yeah.
So we're going to play it directly on the mana square. Good luck. Have fun. So that is something that Abyssian can do.
It's like unexpired seal. Oh, there it is.
He has unexpired seal in his deck.
Hey,
all right,
surprise,
well,
man.
that's one way to answer it.
Yeah.
No, wow, he gave up one charge of his weapon, so I can actually kill off his weapon this turn.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out if there's a better way to do this so I can get both of the mana squares, or the mana square rather. So there is actually. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to move this guy back, moving this guy forward. I'm going to take Night Sorrow, which can now charge down 2 squares. We can take out 1 charge of his weapon. And then we take out the other charge of his weapon and taunt his face. Let's see. I'm going to have 5 mana again next turn. I should have replaced in the beginning of this turn, actually, because there could have been a chance that I drew a 5 draw. But I'm not going to play Sarlacc for a while, actually. Okay. Because chances are I'm going to sack this Onyx Bear into Deepfire next turn, and I'm not going to have enough mana to do it, because I'm going to gain 1, go up to 5. So this is my play next turn. Spiral Tags, not really surprising.
Yep.
And now we have exactly the mana we need. Or Crystal, or, yeah. Okay, so I'm actually going to play it as a 6/6 in front of him, because that's the earliest that it can attack. Before I do that, I'm going to toss... And I'm going to keep Gloom Chaser just in case I don't have a play for next turn. Well, actually, what can I draw that won't be a play next turn? So I'm coming into 6 mana, so the only card that I couldn't play is the 2 Spectra Remnants in my deck, and I have 1 of them in my hand. So there's actually a good chance that if I take this Gloom Chaser out of my hand, that I'm going to draw into something that is equivalent or better to a Gloom Chaser. So we're going to toss the Gloom Chaser. I would say better than a Gloom Chaser in this matchup, for sure. So we're going to play it, or we're going to play this. Let's see, he's coming into 6 mana. I kind of like my position at the moment, but if I ran backwards, I probably would have been fine too. Because now I'm putting myself into inner focus range. Now he only needs a minion plus inner focus, but if I ran away, he would need a minion plus inner focus plus something more. So this was actually a huge misplay. I should have ran backwards, so that he would have needed more cards to attack me with. I'm not going to attack though. Now I've made my bed. Now I have to lie in it.
Oh, lots of
Okay.
lockdown.
We have a 6 mana play, but we'll see. He could also Spiral Tech the 6/6, put me down pretty low, and then hit me in the face. But I'm hoping that's not the play. But if he goes into the corner here, he's probably going to lose. So we'll see what he does.
Pumbaa.
He has a Tracer? Oh no, it's a Phoenix Fire to the face? Nope, that
No.
looks like Tracer.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Alright. We're playing the long game, boys. Well, at least I didn't take too much damage, so we can at least frenzy both of these guys down. And then I'm going to play a little daisy chain worth of taunts over here. Unfortunately, now I'm facing the other direction. It could be better for me to place a taunt on top of myself, but it doesn't matter where I put it. That's the problem. If I put a taunt on top of myself, he can always cover a different square. And yeah, because if he had juxtaposition, he could juxtapose this or this. So it doesn't really matter. If he had Mist Dragon, he would just fly around the taunt. So we're just going to play 2 taunts on top of him and end the turn. Now, one thing is I could have also tossed the Crystal Wisp away and looked for a better play. Okay, this is a really strong combo. Oh, God. Oh, he's playing, like, True Control. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, see ya, taunts. So, in that case, I can still kill it. Is it worth? Probably, because if you can teleport it, it's going to be really rough. So let's do that. I don't know if I'm going to die next turn, though. That's a problem. God. Alright, here we go. Oh, whoops. Well, okay, it didn't matter either way, but it could have been bad if my Sarlacc didn't spawn near. How far do I want to be? I think I actually just want to be right here. If I do here, I'm playing around backstab, but I kind of don't want to get taunted, so I'm going to go right here. If I went here, I would get taunted if he played up. Oh wait, he can still do that. Never mind. Okay. Just going to kill it off. Sinja is something I was not expecting. Now, I'm going to try to see if there's any combination of spells that would kill me for 15 as opposed to 18. Okay, Hamon Bladeseeker and two Inner Foci would kill me 100%. Didn't... Worse. Yeah, I think I'm going to Void Pulse, just to be safe. Normally I would save it so I could double Void Pulse, but I have a plan for if he casts Inner Focus. I can kill him that way. So I'm going to play around being able to steal his spell next turn, as opposed to taking my own spell and using it twice. Because that would, although it would be a safer play, it may not win me the game before he kills me. Because he's sitting on 6 cards right now, so I want to be careful about my health total this turn, so I played the Void Pulse this turn. And I want to be careful about, or not careful, but opening myself up to the possibility of stealing something like Spiral Technique. Now I'm 1 off of lethal. If I steal a Spiral Tech, play Shadow Dancer, and then wait for next turn and Spiral Tech something, but I have a feeling I'm just going to die to burn at this point. If he just Lore Mastered his Spiral Tech, so I could steal a Spiral Tech and go for next turn lethal, or okay, so I have to decide which one I'm going to toss. I think Shadow Dancer because it's not as tanky. Wraithling Swarm is pretty interesting. I could cast a bunch of Wraithling Swarms and then just run, but now that I tossed back my... Because what I was going to do... So I wanted Vorpal Reaver to be tanky enough to survive a spell here. The other thing I could do is just kill off his 3/1 in case you can buff it. It's quite clear to me that he needs something to buff, but he probably also needs to be in range of my hero. What I could do instead is just play... Oh, no, I messed that up. I should have played Sarlacc one squared down, or one squared to the right, and I could have blocked myself off with Wraithlings. Now there's a chance that he can teleport into me. So I'll leave the 6/6 on his face. Well, I guess I'm just gonna go with the original plan of Alcuin. Steal his. Oh, what? Oh, that's right. Oh no, I made a mistake there. Okay, I could have. That's right, because he took his own Spiral Tech out of the graveyard, so
Yeah.
I got my Void Pulse back, which would have probably ruined his lethal. For sure. Okay, he just replaced a card, so he might not have lethal himself. Oof, I messed up really bad there. I didn't realize that I wasn't going to steal Spiral Technique, so I could have actually played that completely differently and placed all the Wraithlings to block me. That tells me that he has.
Inner focus something. Nope, Cyclomask.
Nope.
Nope. Oh,
think
you
he
might,
has to
you
attack
might be
it.
in trouble.
Okay.
Spirals it out. You're gonna get a billion Wraithlings.
Yeah. Oh, they're all
Oh,
placed
gosh.
poorly.
You're not helpful across the map, you sons of bitches.
It's lethal though.
Yeah.
That was interesting though. Why isn't he killing the 3/1 with his 3/1? What? His 3/1 is in range to attack him right now. Okay, well, I guess we might win anyway, despite all the misplays I had. Man, if I had, well, actually, I guess if I played it any other way, I wouldn't have had lethal here. But it felt like a misplay to me. But maybe I'm just a genius. I don't even know it. But yeah, he just killed himself by doing that anyway, I guess. But I had Void Pulse. I think I'm just gonna Void Pulse him for the lethal. Just to show.
Look
Oh,
how
man.
healthy I am. My 11 health.
Yes. Slightly less, but it seemed like he drew dead actually. Strange though, because he was very control heavy, so maybe he was looking for some form of combo. He probably had a lot of pieces in his hand, but nothing to play off of it after. But gotta say, the 410 to the face into it got Onyx Bear Sealed was very unexpected, but at the same time it actually helped me win because it took up his whole turn. Right? Like he couldn't do anything else on that turn.
Yeah.
I still had things on the board, and it was also it also allowed me to make that mana play that I did that turn because the bear was in range for me to summon a Night Sorrow Assassin on top of the mana square, and then attack him with it, and then I could play another taunt, which he had to Spiral Tech, which also took his whole turn. So he was still like behind on tempo the whole game because he had to do that, but. It was kind of a explosive opener that I was really hoping would do more, but that was probably the worst case scenario for my opener.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he was running more than one Onyx Bear Seal, I would think.
Oh, well, I mean, like...
Maybe
there-
true control, you could make an argument for more than one.
But,
Sure.
yeah.
But it seemed like that was kind of unlikely.
Yeah.
But it was also really unlikely that my opener was possible. So I guess there's that. Oh yay, first one of the day.
You got it, man. You did it.
Oh, I did it. I won a game against...
All right, let's do one more.
Okay.
Then we'll wrap this
Flying
up.
High Roulette.
Oh!
Oh. You're playing against one of my friends. But this is one of the worst matchups for the deck because it has 0 tech in it. Probably going to keep Night Sorrow Assassin, actually. So this is our neutral play, and this is our, like, I have to kill something play. So if he plays, like, a worm or something, I'm killing it.
Oh, yeah.
If he plays a Mana Crystal, I'm probably going to taunt it. Oh, wow. Okay, you replaced a card and played a Pulverizer. Going to replace a Devourer. And now we have double Pulverizer as our opener. Pretty nice.
I raised you 2 pulverizers.
I'm going to taunt his Pulverizer here. So it takes him a card to take this Mana Spring tile. So he would need a 3-drop and a 2-drop. Or rather, a two 2-drops. Or a 3-drop and a 1-drop to take both of these now. So that's probably better for me. And we also have a great way of killing his 3-drop as well. His 3/5, because I have Night Sorrow plus this 1/4 is going to kill it, and the bodies will remain. So we have a really strong play for the next turn as well. And I can take the mana if he decides not to take it for whatever reason. So this is okay. He replaced a card.
I don't know if you noticed that, but you can tell when your opponents are placing a card and which one it is. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but he just replaced his first card.
That's actually interesting. I was actually wondering after this patch what that animation was.
Yeah.
So now I know
I
you
wanted
taught
to
me
test
something.
it 100% with something, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Because I can tell, because some people, I'll just say some less experienced players do it at the end of their turn, and I can tell, and I'm like, yep. Okay,
Sunbloom.
he's sunbloomed.
Hey.
All right, so that's his 1/2 drop, right? Okay. Well, that actually just makes it easier for me to kill it. Do I want to, though? Because I could just use this 1/4 to kill this 1/3 with my hero as well, and then I have a play. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to take a Gloom Chaser. Well, okay, do I need... I don't really need the mana here, actually. But I'm going to take a roll on the Gloom Chaser first. Okay, so I could play this, but I'm not going to. What I'm going to do instead is... I guess there's no way for me to do this without putting a Pulverizer here, so we're just going to do this. So this does not play well into Tempest, but it is the most efficient play that I could make this turn. Let's see, which direction don't I want him to go in? Okay, I don't want him to go either forward or down right now, because I am forward and down right now. So next turn I'm going to have 5 mana, so I can play Shadow Dancer. And I'm keeping this Night Sorrow Assassin from since the beginning of the game because I don't have true... Oh, you just removed I don't have a true removal for the for any card in particular. Okay. So that was kind of the expected play. But if you've noticed, Lionar still doesn't have the board, and I do.
Yep.
So... Oh, no. Okay, he has a dude now.
Squire, no.
Okay, so I actually want to play around Zeal here. So playing Shadow Dancer by itself is normally not really a strong play. But against Lionar it is, because no matter what, they can't answer it 100% without using more than one card. Lion kills itself on Shadow Dancer for free. They can use Sunbloom on it, but it doesn't remove the body. They can use Zeal on a unit, for instance, a Silverguard Squire, but I'm going to do this. And there's no way that he can move the Silverguard Squire to reach the Shadow Dancer. There's also no way he can move his hero to reach Shadow Dancer either, at the moment, until he moves this guy down, and then maybe he can equip the weapon, but he also ends up taking the damage from this as well. Oh wait, I don't want to move. I want to attack diagonal. Okay, so that's the play as of now. We want to make sure he reduces health before he Zeals it or something like that. And I don't want to attack his general because I didn't want to take too much damage back. I'm not going to attack here because then I would lose the Sarlacc position, which protects my 5/4. So we're going to leave it as is. And I'm not going to replace... Oh, I probably should have replaced this, actually. But this I want to keep because it's my only actual form of removing something in this deck. Normally I wouldn't want to keep it past this point because there are bigger cards I want to draw into. Because right now my next play is probably not going to be that strong. So... Okay, so Sunstone even suicides itself, and there's still a 3 or 5/3 on the board. He still has to deal with that. Wait, you have to kill that. Is he actually? Wow!
Oh, wow!
Right. That's
Sarlacc
manly.
hate.
That is very manly. So he's gonna take the damage from Shadow Dancer until I decide what to do.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That is manly. Oh, you know what? If he plays a Zeal... Oh wait, no, he'd have to move his hero. Actually, okay. So I can do this. I attack here. Alright, I move the other guy in the way. Okay, hold on. Am I going to take out Gloom Chaser? I feel like Gloom Chaser is actually a little bit better than Sarlacc here. Gloom Chaser puts more stats on the board, so we're going to toss Sarlacc. Well, I could toss Shieldmaster too, because I'm not going to use him this turn. Yeah. Actually, because there's a chance that I get... Okay, that's actually much better than either one, I think. Because I want to have more mana. So we're going to do this. This. Oh wait, actually I don't even have to move. Maybe this is better. If I just stay here, don't give him any breathing room whatsoever. And then attack here. Okay, I'm not dead to Lion Bond, right? And now this is a 5/2. So Wisp, actually no. Because everything I could play next turn has either 7 mana cost or less, and this is the strongest tempo play I can make. Oh, and that was the best position I could get. Okay, that's definitely what I want. But anyway, the most anything in my deck costs is 7, so I didn't have to worry about gaining an extra mana. Another Sunstone, which he's using Zeal on. Okay, I'm okay with that.
Yep.
However, I don't have lethal. He should have killed that one, but I don't have lethal. I don't know why he wouldn't kill the one with more damage. So we're going to toss the Wisp again, and that's lethal. Right? Yeah. I guess it was lethal either way,
Boom.
but... Whew, that was a game. That was a very manly Sunstone, let me tell you.
He regrets his decisions.
I'm sure he does. At the same time, though, if he had done it the other way around, I would have had more on the board.
Sure.
Right? Like, if he had killed the... or if he had neutralized the... Yeah, if he had neutralized his unit, it wouldn't have been as good. Or not, it wouldn't have been... It probably would have been still the play, but it's not as good of a play anyway. Like, just within the whole frame of the class, to play it that way, it's just that they have no way to deal with a neutrally played Shadow Dancer. Outside of... Okay, I guess Martyrdom is actually a really good answer to it. It removes it and doesn't heal you for very much. That would probably be the best way to deal with it. But at the same time, then you're running Martyrdom, so that's a different story in itself. Because it's good, but it's also very situational. Like, sometimes you just don't want to heal your opponent, but you can also use it on your own minis to heal yourself. So
yeah.
I guess back to our talking point about healing. I guess Lionheart does have the most healing in the game because they can kill off their own airdrops.
Well, and I think you didn't even mention this earlier, but they also have Light Chaser, which is the 3/1 that heals you by 3 when you play it. So theoretically, like healing wise, you're like, wow, that's a lot of healing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I actually think Light Chaser should be a neutral.
Yeah. That might change things a lot. But anyways, thank you for joining me here today. Do you have any shout outs that you want to give out?
Well, let's see. So, it's been a while. Okay, so shout out to Tazza for getting me into the game, first of all, because without him, I wouldn't be here. Shout out to everyone that I test with. Shout out to Freshka, shout out to Celerity, shout out to Suki, and shout out to all of my stream viewers that I can't stream for because Twitch is still down. And shout outs to everyone that supported me throughout my whole esports career. It's been like 5 years, and there are some people that are still talking to me every now and again. Like shout outs to Pingu. That's what I'm talking about. I hope he sees this too. And shout out. I know that there's a lot of people that I'm gonna miss. I'm sorry we don't have that much time, but shout out to everyone that supported me so far, and yeah, hopefully I'll be able to make an impact on this game, and as it goes into beta and release, we can see a lot of cool things in the future.
Yeah, well, definitely, man. Looking forward to seeing more of you in future tournaments, and don't be a stranger.
All right. If he has Ghost Lightning, I would forfeit, but we're having a show here, so
yeah, exactly.
I'll stick it through if he's. If he has the card in his deck, I'm screwed.
Because I also have MOBA Expel cards.